questions using her superhuman product knowledge. She self-improves using her advanced data analytics skills to adaptively modify her
AI agents. No, some of the examples would be like virtual assistant. We all have seen Siri, we all have seen Google Home, Alexa. So those are like smart bots. We can communicate. They're all cognitive. They're all having a cognitive abilities. But AI agents are slightly different. AI agents, they use these Gen AI models for completing certain tasks. And if you see on this deck in front of you, the slide that you're seeing right now, you will see there are two types of AI agent. One is open source, and the second one that you see here is a closed source. So we are having open source and we are having closed source AI agent. So, like, what are these AI agents doing? They are doing a lot of things. In terms of coding, if you see, certain bots are very good in coding, certain bots are very good in productivity. We just saw one example, and there are a lot of companies working on these. They're trying to develop something. So AI agent like ChatGPT is also an kind of AI agent. Okay, it's using where this learning is happening, the AI agents can also be trained in a very kind of similar manner where they will be having a certain memory, they will be trained on certain knowledge, and because of that they can do certain tasks, they will be having certain capabilities. Certain tasks would be like you wanted to play a game, you wanted to act as sales rep, or it could be anything. But these traditional agents are not having the capabilities of large language model. This is where, when we talk about AI agents, recent AI agents that we are having, along with these all capabilities that we are having, it is having an access to the large language models, it is having the access to the Gen AI models. And this is where it makes it a very, very powerful. So if you look at like what are the characteristics of these AI agents that we are having, first thing, they are very good in understanding our language. So for example, all of us might have used Siri. If you want to ask certain question, you can ask, it will respond to that. Then these bots, they are able to learn very fast. Okay, so these bots, like if you bring some new data, they can try to understand that and they can learn that. There are many tasks, we want to automate, we can do that. For example, you want to automate a meeting schedule, so you can go and ask it to schedule a meeting for you. In fact, it will go and do that. So these bots, they are very interactive, they have the knowledge, they are having a memory. Okay, now, so they can do a lot of tasks. You just think about it, these bots as a virtual human beings. I call them as a virtual human beings because they are exactly like us. Whatever task we are doing, these AI agents, these bots can also do the same task, whatever we are doing, but with a much more capability than we are having. Okay, so that's the advantage they are having. Now, what are the key components of these bots? So this, the first thing, if you look at the building block of these agents, so you need an UI first of all, where the UI we are having, the interface. This interface would be like some sort of chatbots we are having, or maybe some voice assistant we are having. So this is going to be connected with natural language processing. So we'll be having uh, NLG and NLU there. Okay, so that will help them to understand our language as well as uh, understanding deep learning. So they have been trained using transformer model architecture, so they understand that very well. And the most important part is the reasoning and the decision making. So what they can do, they can understand the context and they can take a decision. So we have a demo which I'm going to present in some time. We'll see how do we actually go and build these agents and how they are working, like what kind of reasoning mechanism they have got, how these agents are able to take a decision, what is the mechanism behind that. We'll dive into more detail about that. Once we look into the demo, you will understand. Then they have memory, they can remember the events, sequence of events. They are connected to a vector databases, so the context is used, and it can actually take input from sensors, from some sort of embedding data that we are having. Now, what are the type of the AI agents that we are having? So if you look at type of AI agents, we are having a simple reflex AI agents. This acts based on certain conditions. Okay, for example, if it is cold, what will happen? Suddenly, a thermostat will start. Maybe room heater is starting, and it will increase the temperature. So that can happen. We can also have a model-based reflex agents. What it does? So it is using the past states. It is using the past knowledge. For example, a vacuum cleaner. If you are mopping a floor, so initially you have to map the area and then it can go and it can mop the entire floor. So this is a model based reflex agent. Then we may be having a goal-based agents, like example, playing some game like chess or any other game. So these agents, they make their own decision to reach certain goal. The next type of agent that we are having are traditional agents. So these agents, they try to optimize any outcome and try to give the best outcome. For example, Netflix. So whenever we are trying to log into Netflix, initially it will ask us for certain types of movies, and then we try to select some like action movies or maybe science fiction movies, and then basis of that it recommends that. So this is going to be a like optimize and look into similar users and give us recommendations. And the last type of agent that we see here is the learning agents. So they learn from experiences that we are having. Like, how do we human beings learn? We learn from experience. So these agents also learn from experience. For example, you're building an agent to identify a language, maybe speech recognition. How does it learns? It learns over a period of time. Then these are some traditional agents that we are having. Now we are having certain advanced agents. Example of advanced agent would be a knowledge based agents. So these knowledge based agents, they use a logic to make some sort of inference. Example, you want to build an agent to identify certain diseases. Like example, if we have a problem like COVID, so if you want to build some doctor assistant where it can help a doctor in identifying certain symptoms, so we can have a knowledge based AI agents. We can have a lawyer assistant and AI agents that work as an assistant to a lawyer. It has got a knowledge of the legal documents that we are having. So these are using the inference logic to make some decisions. We can have a reactive agents. These reactive agents, they will be responding in time. For example, drones, when they are flying, in between if there is some sort of obstacle, they can understand and they can move in a different directions. So based on certain stimuli, change in the environment, real time, these agents can make a decision. A simple robotic system, a vacuum cleaner can be other example of that. Then we have a proactive types of agent. They take the initiative before anything happens. They anticipate the events, a chain of events, and they try to, come up with some sort of output. For example, you can think about it, a bot, which is sending a reminder before a meeting. Like normally, if we have some scheduled meeting, we may get some sort of reminder about events coming up. Other type of agents that we are having, hybrid agents. So these hybrid agents, they are made up of different approaches. For example, a driverless car. So what happens? It is using reactive, it is using planning, it is looking at sensor data. There is a lot of things these agents know. Like that, we could have a social agent, which look into uh, as in like individual, and then it tries to see that what is the goal that we are trying to achieve, and basis of that it will try to interact with the other, and it will try to give some sort of output. We can think about it as trading bots. We have like multi-agent trading bots which are trying to work, uh, maybe doing some sort of trading, buying a stock on basis of particular point where it sees that the price may go up, or trying to sell in equity at a point where it sees that there is going to be a drop in the price of the particular stock. So these are like some of the agents. There are more of these. As you can see, we can have multi-agent system, we can have autonomous agent, adaptive and react agents that we are having. So adaptive agents are trying to adapt based on the experience, whatever learning happens, like we human beings. A react agent is combining the reasoning and the actions together. For example, writing its own code. Let's say you want to build a website. So we can use React agent to reason and maybe write down the code. to design a UI or to design a website, or maybe any application that you are looking at. So just to compare these agents with a traditional machine learning, what you see here, okay, so how these agents are different from normal machine learning or data science that we are having. So if you look at traditional machine learning, what it does, it uses statistical models. It uses the model based on maybe probability and tries to make the predictions. Here it is using a large language model. When we look at the technical expertise, okay, so here what we require data processing, we require large language model, whereas in traditional machine learning, what do we require ML algorithm, we require feature engineering. Okay, these are basic things that we are having. Okay, so here dependency of data is huge. These models, they have been trained on huge volume of data. Dependency of data is huge. It depends upon the quality of data which has been used for training. Here, it may rely more on pre-processing of the data. The volume of data may not be required so much in comparison to this. But here, if you talk about development, we can do prototyping very fast. Here, lot of time have to be invest on data cleaning, data pre-processing, feature engineering, handling the noise from the data. So here POC can be done very fast. The flexibility is very high in LLM based AI agents. Okay, they require minimal training because already they have been trained. They have so much of knowledge. So we just have to either use a RAG based approach where we try to give them access to some data which the model has not seen, or maybe we have to sometimes fine tune based on certain quantization techniques like PEF LoRa and Q LoRa, where we try to play with the model size, okay, trying to quantize the model without affecting the accuracy of the model. In a way, we just try to make the model simple, retaining its property. Here again, this is going to be more of difficult task because we have to understand the pattern from the data, and then we have to look into the how the model makes the prediction. Like if we are using random forest here, we can come up with the feature importance. We can understand why the output is coming, what are the key factors. Here the problem is that this is like a black box. Whatever output you're getting from GPT model or any other GenAI model, you can go and ask the reason for that, but that may not be right. Here it is very simple to understand why that prediction is happening. Maybe you're using feature importance for tree based models, or if you're using regression models, you can understand the values of the coefficients of beta naught, beta 1, beta 2 can give you the importance of the feature. So this is very easy to interpret, understand. Here it is very challenging. The problem is that this is like a complete black box, and this is using natural language more, like we can communicate here. Here we require to do some sort of coding. Okay, here you can just go to any of the interface, you can start communicating and use them, and accuracy is very high. It depends upon what kind of model you have selected, and like this is high. The accuracy may be high with respect to whatever data you have got, whatever features you have got. Okay, so example that we can look, very uh, 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 common type of example in AI agent is called as a React agent. Okay, what it does, React is made up of two words here. One is the reflex, and the second one is the act. So what it does here, these agents, what they do, they try to analyze a situation before acting. It tries to see, what is the situation. So if you see here in this example, what does a reflect does? A reflect identifies the missing information, and basis of that, what it will do. For example, you want to search for some paper, you want to extract some sort of summary. So the act will go and try to look more information about that. A reflex will look into the gap what are the gaps that we are having, and finally the act is going to prepare. So React is made up of two things, a reflex and the act. So if you see here, one part is only reasoning. We can have a chain of thoughts, reasoning together, and then we can have an act. So in this example, we have a language model that is doing a reasoning here. Okay, that could be together, like we have many chain of thoughts doing a lot of reasonings, and then we can have, okay, the reasoning is done. Now it is trying to take some actions. Okay, looking into that. So here what we are doing in React, we are trying to bring the reasoning and the action, both of them together. What do you see here? Okay, so when we talk about these chain of thoughts, what is this chain of thought reasoning? Yeah, anybody is having any question here? We'll take the question in the ending, in the last 10 minutes. I will take your questions, whatever we are having. So when we talk about a chain of thought, what it does? Chain of thought is nothing but breaking your problems into steps. You break your problem into small steps. For example, you're solving a mathematical equation. What you will do? You are trying to calculate a distance. So you can calculate the initial, you can break down that into small parts. You can calculate first, let's say you're trying to look at overall area. So you can calculate the length, you can calculate the breadth, height, and then you can calculate area, and then you can calculate the cost, of a house. So like you can break down the problem into small steps. Step 1, what I have to do. Step 2, what I have to do. Step 3. So this is what is a chain of thoughts, where you try to break your problems into small tasks as a stepwise manner. Second thing, we are having chain of reasoning. Chain of reasoning is applying some sort of logical flow. Okay, some sort of logical flow. This is like cause and effect relationship. Okay, this happened, this will happen. So this is like we have a second way of reasoning when we are trying to reason. So when we are talking about these agents, like one of the very famous agent is React agent. So reasoning, what you see here, how does it happen? It happened by chain of thought reasoning that you see here, or it could be chain of reasoning that is based on the logical steps that we are having. Now, what are the use cases? Where do we use these AI agents? What are the very common use cases? So one is sentiment analysis, that you see it is trying to analyze the customer feedback. We can build a virtual assistant like Alexa, Siri. We can have a chatbots. We can do machine translation like what Google is doing, or maybe what OpenAI's ChatGPT is doing. We can use AI agents. We can do speech recognition. Okay, we can identify the person, and we can even do voice cloning. Like there's a lot of things we can play with these. We can summarize an article, a PDF. We can give a in detail, what this entire PDF is talking about. What is the summary of that? Other part is like name entity recognition. So sometimes what happens, you are trying to extract some data from email. Email data is unstructured. So you can extract a person, organization, and a lot of other information. Other thing would be like grouping news article by topic, or we have a lot of other data. So how do we group them together? So AI agents, can be used for different use cases. If you look at which are the large language models that we are using, so we have GPT models, which is developed by OpenAI, which can be used by these agents. Then we are having Llama 3. If you want to go open source, GPT is a proprietary model. If you want to go open source, we can go with Llama model. It's very good model. I've used this Llama model to download it on my local machine and then develop some application locally where your data is safe and secure. It is not going outside, and it is as good as we have other models. Very slight variation in the accuracy. Then from Google we are having Gemini models, like Gemma model. So basically Gemma model is open source. You can go with that, you can download and you can use, or you can go with advanced model like Gemini models that we are having. Then we have Mistral and Claude. So Claude is having Opus and other variants. So this is from another company. So there are different LLM models which we are having. So we have this model as a foundation model. Along with that, these agents we are using. So these agents can be used to do different tasks. For example, there are different tools these agents are doing. If you look at this example, in this what we are doing, we are trying to retrieve certain information. Maybe I want to get certain information from the website. So I want to scrap all the data. We can have an AI agent which can do that for us. We can use search API, we can use some sort of vector database knowledge graph. Then we can have a communication and interaction tool. So we can have certain agents which can communicate, which certain tools which can help us to communicate them. Okay, like these are some of these examples that you can see where we can using these agents for decision making, for extraction. What I will do, I will give you a demo now. We'll try to understand how this agent is working. So without wasting any time, let's quickly go and look at one demo where we understand how these agents work and how do you build up.
And Alok, give me 1 second. People, if you have any questions, please ping on chat so that Alok and we can have a Q&A session at the last. Yes, Alok, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So here, let's look at this demo. Now we've understood these agents are nothing but they are using the capabilities of these GenAI models, large language model, and they are doing a task like we human beings are doing. So in a way, we just saw example of sales represent, agent that it is doing all the SDR calls. It is actually doing all the job of an SDR. So here in this example, we are going to build an AI agent that you see here to extract certain data from the online, okay, so from certain portals, from certain websites. Like I want to find out the recent research paper published on Gen AI or generative AI. So I want to build these agents. You have to build these agents. So these agents, they require certain frameworks, like you need certain frameworks to build these agents. The major type of frameworks that we are having is LangChain is one type of framework. Then we are having AutoGen. We are having Llama index. So here we are going to use AutoGen. This is from Microsoft. Okay. So if you look at these agents, let me just quickly show you one. So it is a framework. If you look at AutoGen, this is a framework from for AI agent, multi-agent conversation. This is open source framework prepared by Microsoft team. So if you can see, this agent can be used for multiple agent conversation. It can we can use it for different type of applications, and it can enhance the LLM operations as well as give us inference, which is very good in terms of the output. So here we are going to use AutoGen, trying to build this solution. So first, what do you do? Install all the dependencies. So here we are installing all the dependencies. Let's go and try to run this here first. I will clear all the output. So start with installing all the packages dependencies. So we are installing AutoGen agent here, agent chat, and all these packages we are installing. As you can see, I'm running this. The next thing, these agents, whatever you would be using, these agents have to be connected with any of those GenAI models. These models, we call them as a foundation models, basic models. So these agents would be using the capabilities of these foundation model. Now here we are going to use GPT model, like you can see GPT-4. And how do we connect with these models? Using APIs. So here we'll quickly go to GPT model. So what you can see here, this is an OpenAI playground. So already this is having different model. You can just create an API key. For example, I can just mention here test the project that I'm doing, and I can create a key. So once you do that, you get this key here. I'll just we are going to build an agent. So what we'll do, we'll just define the role of the agents. These agents are like the human beings, but they will be having certain roles. And then we'll say that, okay, somebody is working as an admin, someone is working as a data scientist, someone may be working as a critic, okay, and somebody may be working as a program executive, like, he will be running a software program. So we have all of them together. So in this example, we'll just define the role and then we'll tell them that, okay, this is your job. Now I'm out of framework here. And the framework that we are using here is AutoGen. What is the version of that? You see here, the version is 0.2.38. Okay. Now here we are connecting this framework, agentic AI framework, with your language model, with the GPT model. Okay. So now you can see we are able to connect. So we are giving further GPT-4 configuration. What is the temperature? Basically, we try to play with the temperature. If temperature is more, it is going to give us some sort of random thing. Okay, it will be more creative. If the temperature is less, this is going to be more of unique kind of thing that we are having. So now, till now, what we have done, till now we have set up the framework, AutoGen Agentic AI framework. We have got our GenAI model. How do we connect to the GenAI model? We are able to connect through the GenAI model by using the API key, and we are using AutoGen. It's a It's a framework developed by the Microsoft team, and this is open source, so you don't have to pay anything for this. Now we have configured everything. Let's start. So now we have to build the agents. We are going to build different types of agent. As you can see here, from AutoGen, we are going to use a proxy agent, a research assistant agent, a group chat, and a group chat manager. Like, these are some of the requirements that we are having. So first, what we do? First, we are defining an admin here. So as you can see, the first thing that we define is admin. Admin is going to control everything. As a human admin, interact with the planner to discuss the plan and execute whatever is required. So we have defined, this is like a persona, human persona, an admin who is planning different things, but we are just putting it as a bot. What is the name of the bot? User proxy. So we have defined one agent here. It's a user proxy. Now we are defining a second agent. What is the second agent? We are making it as an engineer. So the name we are giving it as an engineer. And then what we do? We write a prompt. So we are defining the role of this, as you can see. So you are an engineer. You follow an approved plan. So this engineer has to follow a plan. Who will prepare the plan? The admin will help ask the planner to prepare the plan. So somebody has to prepare a plan, and the engineer is going to follow that plan. He will be using Python to write certain code to solve that problem. So we don't have to tell how to write the code. Everything will be done by this. It is going to write the code to solve the problem, to solve the use case. Then this code, it is going to prepare multiple line of code for execution. Then we have a scientist. This scientist will look into the plan. So this scientist is another agent that we are defining. What he will do? He is going to look into the plan. He is going to follow the plan, and then here what we want to pull the research paper from the internet. This is what we want to do. So the scientist is going to categorize those paper based on the abstract, like what is the topic of the research paper. Basis of that, the scientist is going to group them, segregate them. Then we have a so we are defining, and the last agent that we are defining is a critic. So critic is going to double check everything. So how many agents we have defined here? Critic is 1, user proxy agent is 2, a planner is 3, a scientist is 4, engineer is 5, and admin is 6. So we are having a multi AI agents that we have defined here. We have defined 6 agents. So what we have done till now, first we have tried to use a certain AI framework, open source framework from Microsoft called as AutoGen. Then we have tried to connect with the language models. So here we are using GPT-4o model How do we connect to this model? By using API. We save the configuration as a .json object, and then we further read that. After that, we import AutoGen, and then what we do, we give some parameter to those GenAI models. Temperature is very, very important. Timeout, when it should get timeout if it is looking into a lot of 2/4 and 2/4. All of you define, and then you define your agents. So basically, what are agents? They are the role defined by using the template and the prompt. So already there is one template, okay, and then we write a prompt inside that defining these agents. So you can see admin agent we have defined the engineer, we have defined the scientist. All these agents we have defined a planner and a critic, okay, and somebody who runs the code, execute the code, that is user proxy agent. Till now we have defined all the agents. Now what you have to do, all these agents you have to group, this one, everybody, you have to group them together. So you will bring all of them together and group them. So now let's go and bring all the agents together and group them. So we have a group chat here where these agents will be talking with each other. So we have a user proxy agent, engineer agent, scientist agent, planner agent, executor agent, and critic agent, and maximum like 10 rounds we have set up here. So you can see all these AI agents that we have defined using the prompts. Now we set up the group chat, and further what we are going, we need a group manager to manage that chat. So we are using the capability of that can enhance the human learning. So let's go and run this. So this is what our task. We have set that go. Now you can see it is started. A planner is started. He's going to do the planning. Now you can see a planner is doing the planning. See, now we are not telling anything. He will do the planning. He will give up all the plan. See, a planner has given all the plan. Engineer, you go and do this. Scientist, you go and do this. After the review, whatever engineer has done. Engineer, that script has to be converted. Okay, again, scientist, engineer, then admin, you look into everything. So he has written the step. Now you can see the critic is trying to review. Now we are not doing anything. Now critic has actually come up with the critic, whatever a planner. So we started with the role. As you can see here, we have set up all these agents. One is a proxy agent, admin. Second one is engineer. Third one is scientist. Fourth one is planner. Fifth one is executor. And sixth one is critic. So planner is going to plan how I'm going to pull the research paper from this website. So here a planner came and he planned all the tasks. Engineer will do this, scientist, and then all these things. Critic went and reviewed that task. How well was the task? And then he has modified. You can see he has revised the plan. Okay. We have not even told anything. Critic went and revised everything. Now you can see it is having some 9 steps. After that, admin comes into picture, and the admin is telling that okay, he's asking us to and either skip or type exit. Okay. let me move hands. Okay, so I click on enter. Now you can see, now using auto reply, it is going to engineer. Now engineer is going to write down the Python script for that. He's going to write a code to pull the data from the internet. So they are behaving like a human being. Now you can see, in fact, the engineer has written a Python script here. See, from Python import rxiv import date time. So all these things, who has written this script? This is done by the engineer. He has written all the script on his own. We have not told what script to write. This is coming from them. Now, once this script is written, executor will come. Okay, executor is trying to execute that. Then there is an error. The error is module not found. If you see here, we got an error. So this doesn't stop there. What has happened? It went to the engineer and engineer is helping to solve this problem. How to solve this problem? It came to admin, press enter to skip or use auto reply. So here what we'll do, we'll just press enter. Now they have to solve this problem. Now you can see it went to the scientist. Again they have to solve this problem and they have to pull data from the internet. This is what we are building this agent. Now you can see the scientist has come up for the scientist is actually telling, I'm so sorry, I'm confused, but as an AI agent, so as an AI, I don't have the ability to directly connect with the external database, including this. But then again, they are doing something. It went to the admin. Let me click on enter and see what happened next. Now you can see it is able to pull up the research paper. Lot of data has come up. You all can see here. See, so much is the volume of data. Now what we'll do, these data we'll try to put it proper using a markdown format. So these are the research paper we got just now. Can you all see here? So these are the proper research paper. So we are able to pull up the data from this website. What was the website? The website that we were looking for is this one, ARXIV, because this is having a lot of those research paper. So we have got the article here. You all can see properly, and if you click on any one of them, it will take you to those research papers. These are all research papers. You can see 10 pages research papers. So we are able to pull all these research papers. Okay, and then if you want to convert that further, you can convert that. Like here we are defining it, to generate in some sort of table format or some other format. But I hope you all understood. This is like a basic agent. How do I build the agent? So we have defined the role and then we have just told them what we want to do. We are not even guiding them further. We are asking that, okay, you have to go and figure it out. How are you going to scrap the data from the website? So we have got so many AI agents. One is engineer, one is a manager, one is an admin, one is a scientist, one person will be a critic, and then somebody is a planner. Like everybody together, they plan and they do a task. So you can see we don't need any manual intervention. The admin part, I've just kept it purposely. Otherwise you can remove that, but at least you need some sort of control. Otherwise everything will be done by this multi-AI agent. So you can see we are having so many AI agents and we were able to pull the data from the website, which all of you saw here. Okay, so what we have done here, we have just used one agentic AI framework that is called as Autogen. Like that, there are so many. We have Crew AI, we are having LangChain. There are so many others which we are having here. So I hope all of you understood what is AI, agentic AI, what are the component of it, and in this demo, I also explain you how they are working. Now we can take some questions. Anybody is having any question, any doubt? Let me see in chat.
I already have a few questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Can quickly
Yeah.
answer this.
I have a question, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. So you mentioned one of the use cases, and can you please talk about any one of these use cases and how we can, like the multi-agent system, can like solve a problem for For example, like chat or summarization. Can you just give us like how this strategy, like how multi-agent system can solve a problem for summarization, for example? Thank you.
Okay, let's say you're working in a legal department, and there are a lot of hearings and a lot of PDF documents. You can build an legal AI agent like we did here. So you will be having a legal expert, you will be having an admin, you will be having a legal analyst, okay, you will be having a lawyer, you will be having a judge. You can have that, okay. So you can set up 4 5 agents there. They can look into that and they can summarize you any hearings. A judge will have its own understanding. So basically what we are doing, we are using the capabilities of the large language model with certain roles, with certain template which we are putting, and then we are asking them only to go and solve that problem, because right now these LLM models on their own they cannot do that. And then you can see these agents on their own they can do anything end to end, like summarizing this document. Somebody is working on HR department, you want to automate that. You can have an recruitment AI agent, you can have an onboarding AI agent, you can have somebody taking the interview. So in HR we can automate. A doctor is is looking into a lot of things. We can build a nurse AI agent, or maybe as a doctor assistant AI agent. So there will be one a nurse agent, one doctor agent, one patient agent. So one agent will be picking up the patient information, one would be looking at the past historical record, and then one would be nurse agent. Like this, together they will be assisting the doctors. So we can think about a role, any role that we have, whether it is an analyst, agent, an HR professional, a doctor, a lawyer, maybe a product manager, a sales rep. Everything can be an AI agent, and then we have to go and mention what task we want to do. Okay, so this way it can be used for doing, and that is why all the company are very much excited about these multi AI agents, because what will happen, it can work like we human beings are working. It has got its own reasoning, it can reason, it can write the code, and then it can go and perform that task. This is why it is very very powerful. Prem Kumar, you have raised your.
Yeah. So thanks Alok and AgileFever for this session. So my question was right from your example only, as you tell that this LLM can give us the itinerary, but they cannot go and book the ticket. So let's say I build an agent for booking a ticket. I'll give some APIs. Let's say book a ticket on Redbus or maybe IRCTC XYZ.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but that agent would be particularly doing that particular task only, right?
Exactly. Every agent, as you can see, we have to
Mm-hmm.
define the role. So it will be
Right.
doing that. So that is what is important. We have to build those agents.
Okay. So it's not like I go to ChatGPT, I go to Claude, I write any of the prompt and I get the answer. So agent is like specific for that particular task. Like as I'm writing a code for particular task.
So think about it role wise. Whatever in HR will do. So
Mm-hmm.
I will not guide it what to do. I will say that Prem, you are an HR professional. Now you think this is a problem. You think how to solve that. I will not tell you anything. So in
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT, we have to write down that this is my problem.
Correct.
Go and do this. Here we are not doing that. We are just telling you are an analyst. This is my problem. Go whatever you want to do. It may be something that LLM cannot do. Like it cannot extract the data from Wikipedia, like go on the internet, or maybe booking a ticket. So here
Mm-hmm.
we will have those agents which will do that. So bringing the capability of LLM model along with something that it cannot do, like we human beings can do. So this is like end to end. You can solve any problem that is there right now.
Got it. So let's say I'm defining a travel agent as an agent. Let's say a travel agent who books a ticket, and I ask him that this is the way you need to book a ticket. So will it again go and do all those steps and get me the ticket booked?
Exactly, it will go on Airbnb and like any website. Look at the flight ticket, compare where the ticket is cheaper, and come and ask the admin. Admin says, okay, no, I don't want to. I want a direct flight. Maybe it will ask whether you want to
Oh,
go, and then they will interact. They will communicate among themselves,
Hmm,
and
hmm,
oh,
hmm, hmm.
somebody say, okay, go and book the cheaper ticket. It should be a direct. and ultimately you will get a ticket in the output. The output will be ticket book for your travel. In between, what happens?
Mhm.
Nobody will come and ask you. They will decide their own.
Got it, got it. So again, again, it's a multi-agent kind of
Yes.
framework.
Yes.
Good.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, look, this is good so far. These agents is very goes sometimes very creative and autonomous, and we should establish a guideline and control to the extent of what it's supposed to do. Sometimes, how can we establish those? You know, of course, we want autonomous and creativity, but not to the extent of harming ourselves
Yeah.
or to
Yeah.
the,
So
necessary.
like you saw here also, we have a critic. So what happened when we were, the planner has, decide. A critic is somebody who will go and review everything and then say, okay, this is not required. So one thing we can have a part of agent only who is actually trying to supervise. In the agent only, we can set up our agent who is actually trying to look into the ethics, looking into the data privacy. These things we can build up. That is one thing. Second thing, what we can do, we can, for certain biasness, maybe all these things. So we can mention those in the prompt. That it should be looking into some sort of ethics. It should not be violating. For example, I'll give you example. I built a bot to write a job description. So there itself we have mentioned that whatever JD it is creating, it should not be first of all gender bias, because certain jobs it can say only men's are required or something like that, or maybe racial bias, okay, only white people, black people, something like that. So there are certain biases. So when you're creating that, you have to mention that, okay, it should not be having those sort of biasness. So one thing, we can control this problem at the time of creation only. We can design the system in such a way that it takes care of some of these challenges. That is one thing. Second thing, once it is generating the output, there also we can look at the output, what it is generating. We can check, there are certain metrics which we can apply and see how is the output generated, whether it is having some harmful content, whether it is having some sort of biasness, whether it is having some sort of other thing. So all these things we have now, many other uh, things, component in these frameworks, which we can use and we can control them. Yeah. Let's go to next question. Taylor, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Alok.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So you've alluded to a lot of the back-end development, whether you're using a language like AutoGen or just in Python or others. You got all the different development environments, right? You can do it in Make and in N8N and CrewAI and all these others. I'm curious, what are you seeing as some of the front-end trends? Are you seeing like front end being like React.js? Are you seeing a lot more trends towards using like calling as sort of that front end trigger where they're integrating into maybe like voice interface? In your example, it looked like it was more kind of internet scraping, gather the data, get a PDF, analyze, give a summary. What are you seeing some of the trends as like a front end interface that maps into kind of this back end agent that you're developing?
So it depends upon the use case, first of all, what you're trying to solve. So I'll give you example. I want to build an HRMS system. Now, for me, my front end, what it is going to be, I can integrate that with maybe a Slack, a team, or maybe WhatsApp. So there you have an API that is connecting with them. So that solves that use case. Maybe you have another use case where you want a UI where at least we have some sort of chatbot, like we can click on a button, I upload my PDF document. We can build a Streamlit. Nowadays we have Streamlit, we have a Gradio, like so many good interface we are having which we can use, and we can build those kind of applications depending upon the requirement. Other thing would be on a certain website. So already somebody is having a website. So we need to just integrate that using React.js or Node, like whatever it is, depending upon these things. So it depends what is the use case. It depends on like end to end how we are looking at the solution, whether it's a chatbot, whether it is using cognitive capabilities like a voice based service, whether I'm uploading something. So it all depends upon what use case we are solving, and then we define the front end.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, look, I would be happy to align with you. Some of the things that I'm doing within my own agency are exactly what you're talking about here. And I think just broadening the network, we've got a handful of use cases around dock intelligence, route optimization, scheduling, handful of other things. It'd be good to collaborate, man. I appreciate the content today.
Yeah. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I think you can search my name.
Okay.
Find it. Any query you can
Perfect.
send me. Or
And Alok, like they were asking for about any presentation or anything like that.
So I'll tell you, for those who want a presentation, we are launching a course here. So if you're interested about learning about agentic AI, where everything will be taught from scratch, assuming that you are having no knowledge, so you will get a complete package. I think maybe so you can connect with AgileFever and you will get all the details. So all these codes, scripts, all these things are going to be part of it. Now let me take some questions in the chat. Shall we get a copy of the presentation? Certificate and all, as I said already, we are launching a course, you can get there. So this is going to be all part of it. Are you using an IDE to develop using it? Yeah, definitely. You can use VS Code, you can use PyCharm or any other IDEs to develop that. If you're working on a platform, definitely you can look for any cloud-based, like we are having Azure, we are having Bedrock. It's very good. Even Google AI Studio is very good. So it depends upon. And the cost, what about data privacy? Are you looking for open source model? Are you looking for proprietary model? There is a lot of things in that. I'm so sorry. This notebook, if you all want to play with this, I think presentation I cannot share. I can share. You will get a copy of the presentation. I'll try to just put the things.
You can remove the sensitive and private data. Definitely, don't want that. Just in high level, I
Sure.
missed a couple of
We'll
slides
be doing something
presentation.
to get it to you.
Yeah.
This is good.
Do agents work on specified workflow? No, you can customize your workflow. Either you use a certain template, or if you want to do customize, you can customize as per your requirement. Okay, you talked about different LLM model. Can you help me to understand how to fine tune? See, if you fine tuning is a very costly business. Normally, we all go with RAG. It's a simple approach. Or if you want to fine tune, we have certain techniques like quantization, something called as PEFT, LoRa and QLoRa. Again, if you're really interested, we are launching the course. Do join that, where you will learn all these tools that we are having here. Fine tuning involves taking a pre-training model and further. Yes, definitely. I think somebody's already answered that. Sorry, not a coder, but what is the plan? Just agents are following. Is there any input? See, agent is like a human being. Think about the role. What is our role? So how do you define a system which can do end-to-end? Like LLM models cannot solve everything end-to-end. So how do you bring these multi-agent to do a lot of automations? So this is where the future is. Everybody is looking at agentic AI, mostly multi-agent AI. So this is where it would be. Definitely you will get the recording notebook already I have shared. a presentation, we'll send a copy of it. I think most of the question is answered. We'll be launching more of these
Yes.
webinars. Do join that.
Guys, please check with the chat. Like the most of the questions were already answered by Alok, and he has already given the link for the recordings and everything. And we have already presented the LinkedIn account. So if you have any queries, like please chat in that. Like we will be getting in touch with you.
You have to replace. I've shared the notebook. If you're using it, please change the API key because this API key will not work. I have to take a new API key. Okay. So that's it. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alok, for your insightful session, and it is very valuable. Team, like, thanks for you too, like, for joining for AgileFever webinar. And please stay in touch with us. We will be coming up with more sessions.